Hi guys, so today we're going to be working out some decimal questions. In each of these questions we will get a model just like this one here. As you can see, it's a big yellow square, and if we read the sentence, Emily uses 100 square to represent one whole. So we know that this is an 100th square here. There's 100 parts in this square, and it says each of these squares represent 0.01. So one of these squares, for example, this square is worth 0.01, and there are 100 of them, which make this whole square one whole. So just bear that in mind, that this square is worth one whole, and there are 100 parts of 0.01. So with that in mind, we're just going to complete these questions. So one part is worth blank hundredth, which is written as what? So we do know that one part of this is worth 0.01. So in fact, because that is one part of the hundredth, we're just going to write 100th. That is one part of the 100th, which is also written as 0.01. Right, because 100 of those make our one whole. So one part is worth 100, which is written as 0.01. Same thing for 5 parts. How much worth is 5 parts? So 5 parts, if you counted them, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Those 5 parts there, we could also add 0.01 5 times. So if we go 0.01, then 2, and then 3, and then 4, and then 5, so we get 0.05 as well. So our 5 parts are worth 5 hundredths, which is written as 0.05. Pretty nice and simple. And the last question, the whole square is worth how many hundredths, which is written as what? So the whole square itself, we know there's 100 parts in this square. So there's 100 parts, right? So the whole square is worth 100 hundredths. Pretty tongue twisting, that one. Which is written as one whole, right? Because it is one whole. There's no more decimals in that one. It's together as the whole, which is number 1. It's just one whole square of those 100 parts. So keeping this in mind, just doing some more questions here. It says Tony has shared 1 into 10 equal parts. So as we can see, here's his 10 parts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. So there's his 10 parts in these 10 little sections. And they all come together for a value of 1. So one part is worth how many tenths, which is written as what? So one part is just one of these squares here. It's just 1/10. Nice and simple, which is written as 0.1. So unlike the hundredths where it was 0.01, we've now gone up a digit to the 10th, which represents the 10th value. So it's just 0.1, and there's 10 of these. So 10 0.1s, or 10 times 0.1, is going to give us a whole number of number 1, right? So there's 10 of those, which make our whole. 8 parts are worth how many tenths, which is written as what? So if we count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, it would just be these lot here. 8 parts are worth 8 tenths, which is written as 0.8. And to get this answer, we can just do our 0.1 times 8, or we can just count upwards from 0.1 8 times. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, which gives us our 0.8. And just a few more questions here to carry this on. We have another part, 10 parts, which represents one whole again. So how much are 9 parts worth in this square, and what is it written as? So if we just shade off here 9 of these parts, as you can see I'm doing, leaves that one spare down there. So we're just going to focus on these 9 parts. So we know that altogether these 10 parts are one whole, but 9 parts are worth what? So it would be 9 tenths. 9 tenths. See my spelling there, it's quite nice. 9 tenths, there you go, which is written as what? This is written as 0.9. 0.9, because we know that 10 of those parts equals one whole. right? 1 whole. So we could just minus our 0.1 off of this. So 1 minus 0.1 gives us our 0.9 there, which is our answer. Right, so our last one here. Greg has split 1 whole into this square. 1 part is 0.1. So we have 10 rows of 10 columns. Each part is worth 0.1. So 100 parts in this square is also worth our 1 whole value. So bearing this in mind, 11 parts are worth how much? So if we do our 11 times our 0.1, that's the equation that we're going to need for this. But our 11 parts are worth 11 hundredths, right? 11 100ths, because there are 11 parts that we need to select. And again, my spelling is all over the place, but you get the idea. 11 hundredths. Oh, I cannot spell. My computer is really messing up. There you go. 11 hundredths, sort of. Which is also written as 11 times our 0.01, sorry, 0.01. So we actually get the value of 0.11, right? Because we are getting 11 lots of our 0.01. 0.01. So 11 of those. So all we're going to do is just count upwards 11 of these parts. So we can actually do it on the square if it's a lot easier for you. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So those 10 parts here at the bottom give us 1/10, which is great. And then we just need our extra one, which is 1/100th. So if we add that 1/10 and the 100th together, we get our 0.11, which is great. And just some further harder questions here. Just one. So Alex's square has a value of 1. So this whole square has a value of 1. Each part is worth 0.01. What is the value of the shaded area? So to work this out, we're just going to count how many rows we have here. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And how many columns do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. So we have 6 rows and 10 columns. So there's 10 per row. So if we just go 6 times 10, this is going to give us how many blocks are in the shaded area. So 6 times 10 is 60. So we have 60 blocks in that shaded area. And we know that each part is worth 0.01. So if we do 60 times 0.01, we get the answer of 0.6.